Hello, I am Jay Millar, and welcome to the first episode of Domestic Creationism. That is, things created here domestically, in this case in the US, or at least focused on things created ethically and are still fashionable, attractive, well-functioning. And I have a bit of a hard time finding a lot of things that I like that fit these descriptions, so I decided to start highlighting them when I find them. And the first and easiest, hands down, easiest decision to endorse was SOM Footwear, or Sense of Motion. I figured upon buying my 7th pair and having my 2nd pair resoled, it, as in not sold again, but having new soles put on them, it was now time to do an endorsement. And I am now on my, I guess, 3rd pair of, I believe they're the Norwood Classic. They do the they're vegan, they are barefoot shoes, and they have the wide toe box, which is pretty fantastic, both for just comfort, giving your feet, they're actually shaped like feet as opposed to the pointy-toed things that most of us wear. I actually started running in my SOM Footwear shoes a few years back with a pair that's now just totally beat to death and relegated to lawnmower duty, covered in spray paint, and had them resold once. They were ran in for probably 1,000 or 2,000 miles as I run distance. And when I started running in those, it was the first time I had ran in many years without knee pain. I thought that was just kind of part of running as an adult, but it was almost frustrating because I had ran for many years and just sort of accepted it as the modern reality, I guess. But that modern reality, as I understand it, started in the 70s with Nike when they started making us run essentially in high-heeled shoes with the big chunky sole. But these, the ones I run in now are these, which I believe the model is Zappy. And I've put probably, 100 miles on these. They're pretty new. But as you can see, they're flat, they're a zero rise, and very comfortable. I got to the point where I no longer feel comfortable wearing other shoes. I used to collect dress shoes, and now the only dress shoes or closest I have would be my simple black Norwood Classic, as it is somewhat acceptable with a suit, but hopefully they'll make a dress model at some point. But basically anything that starts pinching my toes, and I should mention I have narrow feet too, which brings me to my only sort of rough purchase with them, was one of their new trail ones that, having narrow feet, it bunches in here when you pull them up, but that's just with one of their models, and they point that out on one of their models since on their site. But yeah, I am 7 purchases in. They resole, which is fantastic. When you buy a new pair, they will resole your previous pair, or if you're just wanting to keep that one pair going, they'll resole them at $30 a piece, which is very fair. They're manufactured in Colorado, have been since 2014, and they are a vegan shoe, which is nice, especially when you have these nice, very leather-looking shoes that are actually vegan, including my oldest ones, which I've now had for about 4 years now and have been resold. They have a bit of the kind of leather crack to them, but previous shoes, I've always loved red leather shoes, and used to get some Stacey Adams dress shoes that were in red, and they would crack to the point where they would become tears. But these I have worn for years, hands down my most worn shoe, and they're very durable, and I can't endorse them more. So if sustainability is important to you, they recycle the old shoes, and again, they're made vegan. They are a zero rise shoe, which means they will be maybe might take a minute to get used to if you're used to running in something with a heel, or walking or living in something with a heel, but your joints will forgive you for that. And they're a lot more pleasant on your toes, having the larger toe box as well. And yeah, they're just a very nice company. Depending on which model you get, they either have the nice little American flag or the made in the USA tag. But they're just a great shoe. I've always had great correspondence with them and want to keep them around, keep them going, because I enjoy their shoes and hope they stick around for years. Thanks. Thanks for watching Domestic Creationism.